Welcome back to the House 1055 podcast. We are revamped a little bit. We've had some new life breathed into us, as you can see. We really didn't move in rooms. We're same setup, a little bit different lighting. Imagine the world of difference it can make. It's really great.
Okay.
Anyways, we're back today. I'm your podcast host, Noah Marano. If you're joining us on YouTube, appreciate you. If you're checking out a TikTok clip, appreciate you. If you're checking us out on Instagram, appreciate you as well. Go drop a follow, go drop a like, go drop a comment. Go get your friends involved on the conversation because we love talking with everybody here around the house. It is an open house. I am back with my podcast co-host and producer. You know, I was really going to try and think of a clever name here for you, but I really just can't think of one because I'm excited about getting into this episode. So my co-host, Josmanni, is with me today. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. For those of you that are listening on Apple and Spotify, I am currently got both of my thumbs in my shirt. I am pointing it toward the camera, and I am showing the camera that I'm repping the Chicago Bulls tonight.
Hell yeah.
Playoff time,
Dude,
right around the corner.
Play-in time.
Play-in time, even closer. Okay, and we own that.
For those of the nerds who are listening who have no idea what we're talking about, go tune into the basketball podcast. I will say, you know, aside from nerd stuff real fast, Bulls look lively ever since trading Zach LaVine, baby.
Yeah.
I think he might have gotten the cancer out the door. I think we're cooking with some grease down there.
For sure.
Up there, I guess, since we're in Florida. But
True.
we are back to discuss the penultimate episode of Daredevil Born Again. I'm just going to get into it. I feel like this episode breathed a lot of new life into me. So I want to get into what happened in the episode because I think there was just so many good things to talk about. But to recap a little bit, you know, we have Matt getting into altercations with Heather. They're starting not to see eye to eye. We get, you know, Fisk revealing to Vanessa he's got this guy in his dungeon. That don't turn out too well for our boy Adam. He's cooked. And then we have, you know, kind of the big climax that happens after Matt goes and sees Bullseye in prison. He escapes. And while they're at a dinner party for Fisk, for him raising funds for his new port project that he is pretty much greenlit.
Raising funds. That's air quotations I'm saying it in a weird way.
Raising funds. Matt interrupts. Bullseye interrupts, and we have a whole mess on our hands heading into the season finale. So I am very excited to discuss this episode because, as you know, I was not the highest as of the last couple episodes. But
So we're taking a little bit different spin this episode.
We're taking a little bit different spin.
So I've got something.
This is a roller coaster of an episode of a season.
So that being said, I got something new for the pod.
Please.
Okay. When we know we're on the same page.
Okay.
And we know we're about to gawk on whatever we're talking about.
Oh no.
I've got a new button.
I'm scared.
I've got a new button.
Okay.
Please. It's called the glaze button.
Excellent.
And so when we know, we're just hit the glaze button.
Hit the glaze button, baby.
Let's hit the glaze button.
Bro, you're glazing right now. Why are you glazing so hard? Stop glazing. What do you play for the Portland Trail Blazers?
Yep.
That was way longer than I thought it was going to be.
Consider me a Portland Trail Glazer, all right?
Bro.
The glaze button.
Trailblazer is insane work, bro.
It is what it is,
No, I
dog.
love that. I love that. We need to keep that around.
So just the glaze button.
You know, we're building up our bit bag.
Okay.
Got a couple more. We got the Invincible title tag.
Of course.
That's never gonna change. Hope you're ready for that one.
Heard.
And you know, I'm excited for this glazing one because I do think there are quite a few topics we get into where we maybe glaze way too much, and it's gonna be great.
It's a glaze fest over here.
It is a glaze fest over here, and this episode will be a glaze fest because you have no negative Nancy's here in the room tonight for this one.
Well, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, no, man, this episode is really good. It started off a little slow, but it just slowly built and slowly ramped up until its climax at the very end. And it was awesome the way they did it in every sense of the word. I was checking out some of the Twitter stuff. There's a lot of people vibing with this too. I saw a lot of people, like, the biggest thing that pointed itself out to me, and I don't know if it was different cinematographer this episode, different director. I don't know what it was. I don't know if this episode was one of the ones filmed before, after. We got to kind of just set that all aside because we can mention that every episode if we really want to. This one, cinematography-wise, was awesome. Like, incredible. The blues with the reds, the camera angles they were choosing, just the tension. You could feel it because of the camera work too, which is what I appreciated about that, because there already was a lot of it with the dialogue, with the story in general. But with this one, the way they filmed it just added a whole nother layer to this episode that I really appreciated, and really like got me like feeling something. Like by the end of it, I was just like, wow, I want to watch that again, because that was just, there was so much to pick out of that.
Did you watch it again?
I didn't. I
Okay.
didn't.
So it didn't make you feel that much.
I always so if something know about me, I legitimately, like, when I watch something, I've got to go like a while before I can watch it again.
I'm the same way.
So like if I even like this, like if I watch an episode like this, even watching it again before the podcast, like a few hours later, a day later, that's a little much for me.
Yeah.
As much as I like want to do that to pick out more details, it's just not my style. Honestly, the only thing recently I've done it with was Attack on Titan. I watched that way too many times in like a 2-month stretch. But no, this was just a fantastic episode, and it built really well towards the finale. And I've seen some clips on what we're getting for the finale, and I'm excited as hell. We're not gonna get too. I don't want to spoil any of that in case you haven't seen any, but I'm excited, man. So like, what were some of your highlights from this episode?
I think the only thing I took away from this episode is that Matt is a better man than me.
Absolutely, bro.
I just think there's one, the dude that they had to defend, that they were talking about with the teachers and committing fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would beat the brakes off him.
Matt was not vibing with him.
Matt was not vibing with him. Two, if I'm in tune and I'm peeping that Kingpin's about to get shot, I'm just chilling. You know? I'm just letting that problem take care of itself.
I saw a great tweet where it was the what's the really angry chef? What's his name?
Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay. It was that scene. It was the gif of him like saying, "And what are you?" in idiot sandwich. And it was like Karen when she hears what Matt did with Fisk. Yeah. Dude, yeah, I can't believe like it didn't even really register like how crazy that would actually be to like just jump in front, especially like those two characters, him jumping in front of that bullet.
Oh, it's poetry.
Oh, it was
poetry.
It was pure poetry.
It's poetry.
It was incredible.
It's great storytelling. I just wouldn't have done it.
Fantastic storytelling. And
like
honestly,
in that moment, I'm not thinking, man, this would be a great story. I'm going to do it. I'd be like, cool.
And that's why we're not writing the show.
Fair.
There are people who are getting paid.
That's why I'm not Daredevil. But no, I thought the episode was good. The beginning part, it was a lot of like, it was a lot of yapping.
Slow. It was a lot of yapping. It was slow.
And I really wasn't vibing with the episode until we get to the ball or the dinner or whatever, the fundraiser, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's when we started cooking.
Yeah.
The white suit.
Yeah, I was thinking of you when he busted the
I
white
was just
suit back
like, let's go, baby.
Come on.
But before we get to that, because that's probably we could spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I like deduced, and this is where I was like, okay, like we're cooking, is all the way back. Let's go all the way back to when Fisk shows Vanessa Adam, and they have that like dialogue and whatnot, and then she ends up popping him.
Yeah.
As the people in the street say, he got capped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think that moment was like finally what we've been trying to get to with Vanessa and Fisk, with them like finally on the same page. Like 100%. That was the moment that we got like, okay, like they are now back on the same page.
Yeah.
And I think the next time we see them, at least see them together, they're holding hands entering the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it just again reiterates that unity that they now have that they've been struggling with all season. Yeah. Where on the flip, Matt has actually been doing really, really well with his girl, with Heather. And now I don't want to say the lightest cast because she doesn't know he's Daredevil, but like, you know, she's Daredevil is playing a factor in the rockiness that they're experiencing. It's driving a stake through it.
Yeah.
I think this again is just so Matt can have another girl next season. Is the only reason we're doing this.
Karen.
We already got Karen though.
I want her back.
She can be back, but she can't be the love interest.
Yes, she can. Why not?
No, because he's a hoe. We needed another different one.
Oh. No.
Yeah, so I just have one problem with the episode.
Okay.
One thing that like I was like,
I'll allow it. Go ahead.
what's the partner's name? I forget her name.
Her name, Heather.
No, the lawyer partner. The partner in the firm.
It's like... That's a great question.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
You know exactly what
We've
I'm referring
only seen
to.
her maybe 6 times.
And I know, I'll wait for you to, I know you're typing it. So I'll just let you send the comment flaming me. Now that you've sent that, back to what I was talking about. When she came up to him and she was like, hey, Poindexter. I just think that's the weakest name. That's like the dude from Florida, Walter Clayton.
Yeah.
That's the weakest name, but you're so hard. You're so tough.
Honestly.
Poindexter, she lets him know, hey, he was moved to Gem Pop and he wants to talk to you. But like, don't go over there. but we shouldn't care. It's like
a vital piece of information.
Hey,
now don't look at it.
Here's a bit of information that I know is gonna bother you and I know it's gonna tempt your dark side, but like we're not gonna address it. And I expect you fully to not.
I need you to dial right back into our case in here real fast.
I was just like,
lady.
Plot. Sure. Like we gotta push the plot.
Lady.
So that pissed me off, but I did like the interaction that we got between
Kirsten.
He already typed it though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he already got it in the
comments.
It's cooked.
It doesn't matter.
It's cooked. No, yeah, that whole build up in the beginning, I while it was slow, I did think it was really good because it ended up paying off at the end. And again, like you said, just the whole dichotomy. Like I didn't think it was gonna literally be like the entire series, and it's the entire series. Everything is based around this idea of this dyad in the Force that they are with each other. Because like you said, like as their relationship is kind of coming back together, their relationship is falling apart. And so, yeah, you saw like definitely the cracks in that. Yeah, she's for sure cooked at the end of the season. Like whether she leaves or dies, I don't know, but she's cooked.
Nor do I care.
No. Interesting. I don't mind her as a character.
I don't either.
I actually like her as a character.
Yeah, but if she dies, I'll be like,
I agree. Yeah, we don't get villain of the week with Daredevil. We get lady of the week.
Yeah.
So, which listen, like we said, Daredevil's a hoe. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But no, the beginning of the episode where they're having that whole, that's where like Daredevil just always works, the philosophical part of it.
It does.
And the whole idea that she's kind of getting off her chest how she feels about this issue. And obviously, we know how Matt feels about it, and he's trying every which way to kind of just weave into that conversation as best as he can without giving it up.
He's Daredevil the same. He's like, I want to say the same.
But then you kind of, you compare that with the end, where he like throws his cane down and grabs her. He kind of like said, I forgot what specifically he says, but one of the things he says is like, you're gonna probably piece things together as we kind of go through this, because he's clearly not really focused on dancing with her. He's using a lot of his like powers evidently, and she's probably not picking up on everything he's doing.
Bro, when Fisk started talking to him, dog,
dude, that was crazy,
dog.
Bro. That was so good.
Dog,
that was so good,
bro. That was so good.
It was awesome. I was kind of thinking he was gonna do it when they got to the dance floor.
What was your expectations tonight, Devil?
When he called him Devil, bro, I was like, yeah.
That was good.
That
was good stuff.
That was crisp.
Not even the best part though, and we'll get to it.
It's not even the best part, but yeah, just so like the whole idea of like she's gonna catch on. I don't know if he's fully gonna give up to her that he is Daredevil. Honestly, I wouldn't trust her. Like if I'm Matt, I wouldn't divulge that secret.
Heck no.
I don't actually know if she's gonna turn around and share that information.
For sure.
Like, like you get these love interests where like you don't want to share it to protect them, but like she's actually like a liability. Like I feel like if she learns, she's not gonna be someone that like reluctantly keeps the secret. She's gonna be someone who like outs them almost. Especially because she says in this episode, like, I'm voting Fisk because he's doing what I think needs to be done, and like there's no difference between Muse and. Come on, you're a smart lady,
bro.
You're a smart lady.
If that ticked you off, how about Daredevil didn't save me? I saved me.
Dude, that was crazy, bro. That was good. Another great tweet I saw, the Doc Rivers stare where he's on the bench. And it was to that line.
You saved you?
Lady,
you were crying. You were crying for help.
You were getting drained.
There's a term, and I can't remember what it is. It's like a really famous, I think, damsel in distress. Right? You were the epitome. She was the epitome in that moment of damsel in distress.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard that one, actually. You should coin that. That's good.
Patent pending?
That's good. Don't steal that.
I'm going to copyright that. Yeah,
we're going to do a little poor man's patent after this episode. Send it in the mail. We'll be good. We'll be fine.
Yeah, it's just boggles my mind.
Yeah, she's a smart lady. I get her beliefs behind it. I just genuinely, again, I don't like Fisk convincing himself of things. I don't genuinely know how you come out of that situation saying those two people are the same in terms of their I guess she is kind of saying they're the same in terms of their motivations because they're doing it for themselves. They're doing it to get off their own agenda. I just still though I don't. You clearly have some high degrees in specifically analyzing people. Yeah. I don't understand how you kind of come to the conclusion she's coming to. It's strictly really just her beliefs getting in the way of that.
Yeah, I think it's a philosophical thing. I don't think it's I don't know, because she didn't think Daredevil was trying to hurt her, right?
No.
There's we can deduce that. There's no way she felt threatened by him.
I would think.
She didn't feel threatened by him. I hope.
Maybe she did.
Maybe she did, but that would be stupid. Yeah. Because Muse went for her and he pulled him back.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I don't know. It's just she was annoying.
He not only he busted in the window and started beating the crap out of Muse.
Yeah.
A known serial killer. But they're the same.
And he said her name, trying to save her after she passed out.
Yeah.
It was not the same.
Not the same.
Not the same at all.
She definitely was
and that's not a negative on the show. I'm not saying
no.
I don't want that to come off as we're bashing the show. That's just the character that they wrote, and we're supposed to feel that. That's supposed 100%. To be annoying. It's
100%. And so we get past that, and it definitely wrapped around at the end of it. Because you could feel just all of the emotion between those two characters, while they're going through. I mean, dude, when he just zones her out, bro, that was one of the craziest.
I think every man that has a significant other just related to that.
I wanted to show it to Anna so bad because I knew she would use that against me.
Yeah,
that's got to be turned into a meme ASAP.
For sure.
That's 1,000%. Because that's a trend right now. Have you seen that trend?
Dude, he did it 3 times.
Have you seen the TikTok trend right now? It's women when I show my husband a TikTok and she's just talking into a wall. That's all it is. It's just females talking into walls.
That's funny.
But no, that was hysterical. But yeah, their whole tension, that's gonna get out the door soon. I'm not too stressed about that. But we get to Matt going back to the office. Clearly pissed off about the Poindexter thing, but also he knows this guy's just straight up lying through his teeth and clearly doesn't care. He's not showing any sympathy. So Matt's not vibing with that at all. Kind of uses that as the
teacher guy.
Yeah. As a springboard into I need to go talk to Poindexter to get my feelings out.
Sure. Yeah.
Which that also just another I don't know if Poindexter knows he's Daredevil. I genuinely, I don't, he never learned it in the original.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure he knows because as we find out throughout the episode, he wasn't there to draw Matt out at the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
It seems like he was there to specifically kill Foggy.
For sure.
So.
Which we'll get into.
That's called foreshadow. But, that was an excellent scene because the whole time we're seeing Bullseye leading up to this, and I was wondering what it was. We get the blue flower in the beginning. Mm-hmm. We get all the blue lights.
Yeah.
And I'm just constantly what is this? It's just so abrupt out of nowhere that we're just doing this. And they pay it off at the very end of the episode, which made it all which is totally why we have a purple light today. But, no, I just thought that conversation was just awesome. I appreciate it. I loved the way they talked. I obviously Bullseye's line of just I thought you were a good man, and good men defend even their worst enemies, or save even their worst enemies. And I don't think Bullseye knows because I think he's genuinely asking for Matt to help him, even though he knows why Matt's upset at him.
He killed his best friend.
Yeah, because even if you don't know he's
But then he proceeds to bang his face in the table.
That was awesome.
But it's not like not every blind man's doing that.
He not before that too. He grabs his like head. Mm-hmm. He goes to the door and he grabs his head. And I'm wondering.
Bam,
yeah,
bam. Jesus Christ,
officer. He's banging his head. Please put
a little bit extra elbow grease on that. God dang.
He deserved it too. He deserved it
for sure.
It also got us finally to the point. I've seen a lot of shots from Daredevil or from Bullseye from the comics where his teeth are all messed up and they're all gross and animated. Finally getting a little bit more to that point. But that was just an awesome scene. They were cooking. Both the actors. Charlie Cox is cooking throughout this entire show, obviously.
I will say there was like a
digging
big
in this episode.
There's just a big jump in his like demeanor in this episode. I will say. I think so. I think we like drastically kind of he went from like he's probably at like a 4, and I felt like he was at like a 7 this episode. Like he just took like a really like jump but since this episode started, like it felt like. Man, there's probably. I feel like we're missing a couple of events that maybe should have got him to this point, but he did feel a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah.
Which I'm not saying is a bad thing. It's an observation.
I think I have an explanation. I think it's just the pure fact of we've been seeing all season how Matt is, slowly coming back to the worldview of like the system doesn't work. He's tried to make the system work, and it hasn't been. And that's why he's slowly slipping back into Daredevil. Hector obviously was one of the first things in that. I think the thing that puts him over the edge, because he mentions it to the lawyer, is learning that Fisk moved Bullseye. Because once he hears that, he realizes again, it just reaffirms the belief that like this system is full of crap. And this guy can work the system however he wants with no repercussions, and nobody's going to do a thing about it. So like I have to do a thing about it outside the law. And so I think that was the final straw.
For
that
sure.
kind of pushed him to feeling that way.
Question, because I want to get into this. Because I took it a different way, and it sounds like you took it a different way. I want to. So when Fisk moved Poindexter to Gen Pop, you took that as that's helping Poindexter.
No.
So that's what I'm saying.
No,
that's the thing though. So it's like, I think Fisk's intention was to get him killed.
100%. I believe that.
100%.
100%. I believe that. Yeah.
So
Matt is just seeing that that is showing Matt that the system just further doesn't work.
That he can get killed.
Because Fisk can manipulate it. It's not so much about whether it's good or bad for Bullseye. It's more about the fact that Fisk just simply has the power to do so.
Yeah.
And so that's where I feel like he jumps. Because again, too, you got to think too, like specifically also that it's Bullseye. Like it's the guy who killed Foggy. So like the moment he realizes like
he's put in a situation to be killed would be a good thing.
You'd think, but even Matt, like this episode, he shows like he doesn't want his enemies just to die like that. I think it was more just the idea of like this guy should be spending his life in the hole that I put him in, not wherever Fisk can maneuver him around to. Because honestly, too, if I'm Matt, I don't think he wants Bullseye to die. I think he wants Bullseye to be stuck in basically torture forever with his hands bound and which by the way, they threw him into Gen Pop with his hands locked up, bro. He's getting stabbed immediately.
Yeah.
Like he is an FBI agent.
Yeah.
He put all those guys there.
Yeah.
He's cooked.
For sure.
I don't even know how he makes it out. Like he's back in the room with Matt. He doesn't even have like a scratch on him.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I didn't get that. That aside though. I just think it was like but I think too, like think of any time like you've learned just something that's gotten you really worked up. Like I know for me personally, like I have learned things that get me real worked up in an instant. So I think you're just seeing like Matt, if you don't get worked up as quickly, maybe it's a little harder to understand, but I think Matt is he's a short-tempered dude. And so the moment he finds out something this serious about it, and the moment his worldview is just further crumbled, he snaps. And this is where we're seeing him snap a little bit. Because he goes kind of off the rails this episode after that.
Yeah.
Like he goes off doing his own thing. He says, I'm not coming to work. As another great tweet I saw was Matt said, we're so back because Matt's not showing up to work and not treating clients like they should be treated.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is like he does such a good job at like being very composed in his human, like in his like as Matt.
Yeah.
Like he's been very good at being walked all over and not letting it affect him. And then when he's Daredevil, like, he's Daredevil. So I don't know. It was just an observation. I didn't mind it. I think it like it made these scenes a little bit, more intense. And I was like, this is honestly the Matt that I've wanted the whole time. Like what he did to Bullseye in the interrogation or whatever in the room. Yeah, we just banging his hand on that. I was like, yes, more.
Again,
rewind.
Again.
So yeah, no, it was really good. I think this episode, and it happened so quick because I feel like a lot of this I would have liked to be dragged throughout the season, but we got it all this episode, which is okay. Is finally putting the pieces together on the motive of Fonky's death, and it started with him going to the bar, and then he has the epiphany, like, oh man, like he obviously puts it together. He was celebrating. He knew he was going to win that case.
Yeah,
and so somebody wanted to silence him, and then you get the, hey, Fisk moved Homeboy and Gen Pop. And it's like, you don't really know what that means yet. And then you go more into the episode. Yeah. And then you find out that I think Fisk found out what Vanessa was doing and was trying to cover her tracks by getting Bullseye killed.
Oh, interesting.
So
okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if, but yeah, why else? Unless he
my
knows
only
he's
thought,
Bullseye
my only thought is just because Bullseye
is a quote unquote.
I don't even think. I guess my thought process towards it was he's just doing it because he's definitely at odds with Bullseye. But I agree, like he's not
clearly now we definitely know Vanessa is the one that got called the shot to get Foggy killed. Use Bullseye. That's a loose end in the crime world.
That makes
not
sense
that I know from experience, but in the crime world and other shows and movies that I've seen, that person is a loose end.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Like him maybe figuring that out, whether it was through his bodyguard dude, his right hand man, he was all right. Well, we need it. He needs to be.
I agree. So I actually think that's the right point of view of it. I think he was putting her there to cover Vanessa.
He's covered, because it also happened like. He could have moved him whenever. He moved him once they came back together as one. Yeah. As they've usually been.
He also moved him after, it seems like this episode more than the last, Fisk is now fully into the I'm mayor, but I'm also a little bit shady.
Oh, but dude, 100%, dude.
I know he's been leaning into that slowly,
but now it's like he's like fully there.
Yeah, now he's like not hiding it. If that makes sense.
He's hiding it.
Yeah,
but
not to himself either. Because like for the entire season, like he's been adamant, like I've changed. So, but now he's just like forcing people to give him money and close.
Yeah, but his intention is still not crime.
100%.
It's just his.
As far as we know.
Yeah, as far
he kind of alludes to something this episode with the port aspect of it about why he wanted the port specifically.
Yeah,
and obviously we've heard him say in the beginning, like how did he build his business? It was off the back of blue collar workers and the port, people like at the port. So, I think that'll But just to rewind a little bit, we get into him bringing Vanessa down there to show.
Yeah,
and I honestly I genuinely didn't know how she was going to react. I really didn't. And then as this scene went on further and further, I was like, nah, she's gonna. This guy's dead. This guy's cooked.
Yeah.
And you can see why she did it. But what I liked about it is that she played it very reluctantly. She played it very much like I do really care for this guy, but like he's got to go. And that's where we see it. I mean, we get the full idea of like Vanessa. She is just in this world now. Yeah. Like she is 100% way gone into this world, because I don't feel like the Vanessa we first meet in the series would do something like that. And now she's to the point where she's like, well, this guy kind of knows our business. Probably needs to get.
Yeah.
So he doesn't speak. But I thought that scene was just, again, really well drawn out with the tension. Because he is kind of, I don't even think Fisk knows really what she's going to do.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Because he's just kind of like, he's trying to explain. He's like, I don't have anything else without you. Like, I'm not me without you. So where'd she get the gun? Did I just miss that?
Come on, bro.
She just pulled out?
And somebody in her line of business got to keep a strap on.
I just wasn't sure if he like set it on the table or not for her. That's what I was trying to figure out.
It don't matter, dog. She got to keep that strap on.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
You got to keep that strap on you.
Yeah, she offs him pretty.
Handedly.
I won't say quickly, but handedly. Good word for it.
Yeah, so, and again, like that serves as the moment. It's like now they're on the same page.
Yes. Now they come back together, and now...
And it also is interesting that the love interest of both of the people that were paralleling are the ones that killed.
True.
You know?
True. Yep. Kills Adam, kills Muse. Yep.
You know? It's like another parallel, although it's like...
The killing of one broke them further apart,
exactly,
though. The killing of one brought
united them. So it's like, it's layers to this, bro. There's
layers. So, yeah, but then we get to the dance.
Mm-hmm.
We learn that Bullseye escapes. First off, why you texted me about this? You seem to have had an issue with Bullseye escaping.
Yeah, I just like...
Why? What was your issue with that?
I mean, it just seemed a little dramatic.
Like how so?
Like you just spit the tooth into his eyes. Like you can't spit it that hard to like...
He's Bullseye, though.
Yeah, but
he spit in his eye.
Yeah, but you can't spit it that hard to where it's like it's going to go through his eye.
I don't think it went all the way through his eye because you could hear him screaming. I think he just impaled his eye. Also, though, I mean, have you ever had like a rock hit your eye, like on, like straight on? It sucks.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. Like definitely it would hurt. But like when he did it, like blood was like gushing out of his eye as if like it just like
I didn't see
as
that.
if his eye just sunk into his brain.
I didn't see that.
I was like, that's okay. That's a little.
I was just thinking the
much.
tooth he just impaled the tooth into his eye. I think that's believable.
Yeah. But everything else,
Bullseye.
And then once he got the stuff, it's like, yeah, that's what Bullseye does, right?
The lights slowly turn completely blue, and he's messing with his teeth and blood and gross stuff.
So it was funny because like we're like, yeah, Muse is gonna be the big bad, and then it just
Bullseye and Fisk.
Bullseye in half an episode does more than Fisk than Muse does in.
Kind of 4.
Honestly, half an episode. Honestly,
I agree. Completely agree with that.
So
way more impactful.
Yeah,
we just needed Bullseye this entire.
I'm not gonna lie, and this is not. I'm glazing the show, full gawking the show. My problem is now directed towards you guys. Get Bullseye's dick out your mouth. Okay, I've been seeing too much online saying this guy is a top 3 comic book villain.
Have you really?
We need to relax.
Have you really?
Yes. Would you agree?
No.
Good. No. We need to relax. Okay.
He's great, but no.
He's good, but he's not a top 5.
No.
Top 10 comic book villain.
No.
That we've seen in show, movie, anything.
No.
Let's relax.
I did like him a lot. I do like him a lot.
I do like him.
Yeah.
You can like him. I just can't put him in the high.
He's a top 3 Netflix villain.
Sure, I'll take it. I'll take that.
Oh man,
and he's not 3.
No. Yeah. So the dance is happening, and everything leading up to the dance was really cool. We get Matt showing up late. We see Fisk talk to Swordmaster.
Swordmaster.
Was Swordmaster in Echo?
No, he was in Hawkeye.
Okay, I gotta go back and watch Hawkeye.
He's Kate Bishop's mother's boyfriend.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I watched Hawkeye previous to the show. When I first saw him a couple episodes ago, I probably would have immediately been like,
yeah.
But no, I just
we talked about it on the pod. I told you
but I still wasn't putting it together in my head.
Gotcha.
I was not picturing who it was in my head. Now I can see who it was. He's the rich guy, and I get it now. I see it now. I totally forgot that was a character. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Fair enough.
So, because like obviously, I think they're coming at it and filming it from the point of view that you know it's Swordmaster when they first meet.
Yes, you should. Yeah,
right. But no, that was a great conversation. I thought that was cool because that honestly adds a whole. I thought he was just a dick before. Now I see like he's openly opposing Fisk. So
because he's
because he's who he is. So I thought that scene was excellent. I thought Matt, barging in and he's just listening everywhere the entire time. Like he's there for one thing. He cared 2 shits about Nether.
Yeah, no.
Dude, and then when they get on the dance floor.
Oh, wait, before that. Before the dance floor.
Oh, yes.
After the Swordmaster exploiting conversation, one, you thought he was going to get cooked. You thought he was going to get
Swordmaster?
Yeah, going to get
I didn't think
down.
he was going to beat down.
Yeah.
I wasn't really knowing what to say.
I was like feeling it. Like I was feeling like when he put his hand on his shoulder, like that's never a good sign.
Yeah.
Kingpin puts his hand on his shoulder. I just rule of thumb, like if I'm not, me personally, not gonna let somebody sun me like that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you're Kingpin, you're a human. All right. Mind yourself. I understand.
Quick story time. Do you remember working at camp?
I do.
So this brought up an instant memory for us. We worked at a camp, and there was this
and
girl.
I couldn't hit her. Anyways, keep going.
There was this girl at camp And she was not from this country. She was from New Zealand, I believe.
Yeah.
Either New Zealand or England. We had a bunch of England and New Zealand people working at camp with us.
She's from New Zealand.
And she was very loud, very animated, very in your face. Didn't really know a lot of personal space.
For sure.
She had a distinct knack for anytime she saw you walking up, and instead of like, there was no dap, there was no fist bump, there was no bro hug, side hug. There was just grab the back of your neck and bring you in close. And not quite forehead to forehead.
And it was like a cheek kiss.
Yeah.
Like
she would bring you in to kiss your cheek, because that's what a lot of them did.
Nobody else grabbed the back of my neck.
But her specifically, to kiss your cheek, would firmly grip the back of your neck to bring you in. So we just had a joke.
Well, there was one night. It was the first time we met her. She did it.
Yeah.
And I remember both of us walking away, and you were kind of stunned, and I was like, "Listen, listen. From where I come from, that'd have been on site. Like, and because she's a female, is why she's not laying on the pavement right now. Because I would never let somebody grab
if some
the back.
French dude worked at camp and did that to you.
Yeah, he's getting
Clocked.
he's honestly, that's gonna be his welcome to the USA kind of moment. We talk about welcome to the league.
Yeah.
That's his welcome to the States. If a French guy grabbed the back of my neck, it's just, listen, she has spent less than 48 hours in the States. So she doesn't know.
She knows
and we
nothing.
do not.
It was nothing.
We had a conversation and she never did it again.
Yeah.
Well, she did it one other time, but we got better and we worked towards it.
You're like,
if it was a guy, he would have found out really quick that we don't do that in the States. Really, really quick.
But listen, no man was free from her doing that.
Because she did to us, and we're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
3 more guys come into the house later. It's like, bro.
Everyone fell victim to it, bro.
Bro, you know blank? Did she grab the back of your neck too? And I was like, yes, bro.
Yes, bro.
Yes.
Dude, that was just a...
Anywho.
So anytime we see someone getting sunned, it's just like instant flashbacks.
Well, every time Fisk just...
Yeah.
That's all I think of. I see her face.
I see her face, bro.
This was like a fever dream.
It is a fever dream. It's crazy.
Cool.
So,
that was a sidetrack.
Brief sidetrack.
back to the
anytime
episode.
Fisk does that, I feel an immediate sense of danger.
Yes. And he did it when he did it with Homeboy earlier. I was like, and he did it here. I was like, oh, I don't really feel good about this. I don't like it at all. He survives.
Yeah, he's good.
He leaves. And then this weird
dude, what was
weird dude
who was the random guy?
Doesn't turn off his flash.
Okay, that's what it was. I missed that.
And he sneaks a photo. Big old flash coming from his phone. Like,
he said, get him.
Yeah, hey, hit him while I work.
I
felt no remorse.
I missed the flash. I don't know if I looked away from the screen real fast or whatnot.
Dude, it was brighter than these lights that are in my face
I
right now.
legitimately thought he just walked out the room and was, hey, take care of him.
Oh, yeah, no.
And they just went on this server. I was like, what did he do? I was like, what did he do?
He said, he was like this. Sorry for audio people. I'm about to reenact what happened. Fisk walks out and just look at me like you're Fisk.
Yeah.
Just big old paparazzi flash.
That's a bold move, Cotton.
Bro.
We'll see if it works out for him.
It didn't.
It did.
Update. Got clapped.
Oh, that was crazy too. The police commissioner coming in and telling him,
this is abuse. Nope.
Yeah, wrong. No. This is abuse.
Puts his hand in the oil. That was assault.
Which also, when he first said, you want me to make it so you can never wipe your ass again, I thought he was going to put his butt in the fryer.
Ooh, that would have been tough.
I thought he was going to sit him in the fryer.
That would have been...
That would have been way worse.
Yeah, that's what you see in The Boys.
That would have been rough, bro. I mean, imagine that. That's like...
That'd be tough.
That's not only your cheeks. That's like...
Your anus.
That's
your colon.
It's also like reaching up in other parts. That's pretty rough.
For sure.
Tough way to...
Probably wouldn't have to shave down there again, though.
I probably wouldn't be able to do anything down there ever again.
That's fair.
Oh, man. But no, that was crazy. So that was clearly tension going involved. And we get the commissioner is going to probably leak some stuff to BB to get that stuff
that was
out.
a good conversation.
A really good conversation. All the dialogue, all the acting in this was really good.
I don't know if I'm mistaken or she's BB, so she's doing the street interviews, right?
Yes.
So what was she implying about not everything I post is under my name? Do we know of another news source?
No, but I think what she was simply just saying is like she probably writes a lot of articles against Fisk as well.
I just thought that she was referring to something we know.
Something we've seen. I don't think so. Nothing
Okay.
popped to my head. I was trying to think of it when she said it. Nothing popped into my head immediately.
I was like, because the BB thing is her. We know it's
Yeah.
her, so it has to be something else that we don't know about.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's not
she
something.
also could have just been saying, I could write in other names.
She said.
I know she said I have, but she might have been saying that to let him know, like, listen, I don't gotta release this on like under me on the BB report. Like, we can release this a lot of other ways.
For sure. That's gonna be good.
Yeah, that was.
It's cool to see all the fronts of like people who are opposing Fisk.
Yeah,
but they're all like they're not united. So they're like BB and this guy are gonna like, hey, we're gonna do it by the press, and then like Matt is gonna do it by Daredevil stuff. Then you've got the well, I guess the commissioner's working with BB, but like different people or Swordmaster who's like trying not to be his business partner. You know, so it's like people are trying to like. There are people that oppose Fisk.
yeah.
It's just it's hard.
On the flip side, you also see the political plays of people who are getting under his wing and trying to build themselves up under him, which is the one guy's character.
This
that I
is
can
just
never remember.
it quite literally is just a public version of what he was doing in the crime world.
Oh, 1,000%.
It's the same. He's doing the same thing, which is cool.
Yeah, the one kid who plays his assistant, I really like. I think he's a really good actor.
Yeah.
I think he plays this part really well. Really like his character.
What did
too.
he say? He said, "I'll burn for you" or something like that. What did he say?
I was a little like, you're laying it on thick here, buddy.
Relax.
Relax. My glazing. Hit the glaze button,
I
bro.
burn for
That's
you.
the glaze button.
Yeah, right?
I burn for you. Oh, man. Okay, so we get to the end. And they get on the dance floor. And first off, Matt says, like, well, you're probably about to find out. Just don't ask questions.
What did you think he was gonna do?
I just figured he's putting the cane down like he's
No, but he was like bolting to Fisk.
Oh yeah, no.
Remember?
I figured he was just gonna take her dancing and I didn't know what was gonna happen after that, but I figured they were just
No, when he was like bolting to
Oh.
Fisk through the crowd, he was going through the crowd.
I think he was just gonna confront him.
And then spotlight.
Yeah.
So you think he was just gonna confront him?
I
Talk
think he was
to him?
gonna confront him. Yeah.
He was moving like he was.
Because he
confronting-
even tried to confront him again with Heather. He tried to bring Heather to them, and that's when like the dancing like started. So they get on the dance
That's
floor.
what I'm talking. It's the same instance.
Oh, you're talking. Oh, I
like,
thought you were
yeah,
talking about when
he
he
brought
first
her-
gets into the building.
No.
'Cause
He
he
brought
starts
her,
to-
and he's like bolting to him, and he's about to like do whatever he's gonna do. I guess maybe talk to him.
I think he
And
wants
then
to
that's when
confront him about Poindexter specifically. Probably the whole Vanessa thing too. He just finds a different way to do it. So he butts in with the Vanessa
matter,
dance after Fisk talks to him, which just
Dude,
fantastic.
that's awesome, bro.
Such
That
a
was
good,
really good.
such a good display of his power. I love the
She
subtle
knew he was
ways to
listening.
display the power
Yeah.
because, and this is what I loved about the new Spider-Man movies. They never really talked about or called it the Spider Sense, or the Peter Tingle from Across Spider-Verse. They never mentioned it. They just showed it in action, and not in the ways that they do Daredevil, where they do the whole wide pan thing and they get all the fuzzy noise behind them like dialed back in.
Oh, yeah. Toby's did it.
I'm talking about the new Spider-Mans. I liked how the new Spider-Mans did it, where like he just kind of like in the Mysterio fight, he just had to figure out where things were, and you could see he was clearly a step ahead in that movie. And we get a lot of that, you know, in that one instance of the scene where like we know he can hear him, but like obviously nobody else does, but we know. I don't need you to get cute with it sometimes. Like, although I love the way they display his powers, we've talked about it multiple times. Even this shot, when he finally hears the gun and it does the whole
He was
pan
like
out.
weeding through all the noises.
So good. But while I like that, I also love the moments where you just do it and you're leaving it to the audience to pick it up. And I liked that.
Yeah.
So that's what made that whole piece of dialogue so cool. And then obviously like he just butts in and takes Vanessa, and Fisk was literally like,
Yeah, what the heck, bro?
the fuck? And also,
was good,
what
though.
the hell were they side? Do you see them like side dancing? What were they doing?
Who?
Him and Heather, when they stayed there while Matt and Vanessa were dancing
I think
around?
he was still shocked.
They were literally just like doing this like weird like side, like they were like side by
And they were
side
when they were talking.
and they were just like swaying. And I was like, you guys can like dance. Like it's not. I just thought that was funny. But obviously, like the kicker of the episode is we get Matt piecing together that like you were in charge,
Yeah.
not him.
And he knows that she knows he's Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, it's a subtle way of like, listen, Vanessa, I want you to understand. I know I'm onto you, and now that you know that I'm onto you, you need to understand you are in a lot of danger.
Yeah,
because you know who I am,
and you can feel that in her. As the conversation ramps, he mentions it
because she's trying
and
to be
she
confident.
Immediately pulls away. He
Yeah,
like
he's
yanks
like,
her back.
He's like, you need to understand. you're in it.
Yeah.
You're in deep.
I can snap your neck before anybody gets to us.
You killed my best friend.
Yeah. Pretty rough stuff.
And you know what I can do.
Yeah. So,
that was just like
incredible. I thought for sure Bullseye was going to
shoot Vanessa. That's what I thought.
And they were setting it up that way.
Yeah, they were.
Because he was aiming at her.
He was like looking around, but it kind of was like,
and like I thought that was good. I was like, oh, he's gonna shoot Fisk. Oh, he's gonna shoot Vanessa because like that's like who would really hurt. And then it didn't end up happening that way. But the whole dichotomy of like him shooting obviously and calling back to what Bullseye says. In the room. Yeah. You know, you should be defending your worst enemies. Yeah. He took a bullet for his worst enemy. He saved his worst enemy. Yeah. Jumps in front of him, takes that bullet, which I think I don't know if Matt's like in tune enough to be able to get this to not hit any vital organs.
I think it just, but also he's shoot because Bullseye is a marksman. Mm-hmm. He's aiming at Fisk's heart.
He is,
which they're different heights.
Which is why also Matt doesn't get killed.
I think it clipped like his shoulder.
He's also like moving into the shot. So it's like completely different. But I thought
I wouldn't say he like, I need to make sure it doesn't hit my. I think he just jumped.
A couple things I pulled out of this, and this one is a little bit of a stretch. Not sure if it's real. When he falls against Fisk,
the blood
right here
looked like the painting.
It not only looked like the painting, it looked like the shot we saw literally scenes earlier from the dungeon
of the painting.
Is that what it was? It was the paint. Oh,
yes,
it was
the painting from the.
I thought it was just Adam's blood on the wall.
No,
it was the painting.
That's the actual painting where he.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's so good.
That's what I was. That's
because his suit is the canvas.
Yes, bro. And now it's
Matt's blood instead of dude. That is blood. So good. That's and good. Then so he falls.
So I'm saying poetry.
Now he's on the ground. Yeah, we're right back to where we were in episode 1 with Foggy.
Yeah,
they used the same parallel shots. Mm-hmm. Heather's on the ground next to him instead of Karen. Like we're getting the whole. He's breathing real. Like it's the same.
Yeah, and then we get like the weird shot.
I don't know what the purpose of that was. It was awesome.
It like the reflection kind of thing.
And then we get the lights slowly just turning red and red and red. And that's when I pieced together what the blue was and Bullseye. But you also get a freeze frame of Bullseye staring at all this, and he's like,
"Frick!"
He's like, "Oh, you did it. Like you did do the thing I told you should do earlier." I think he came to that realization, like not the full realization, but I think he sees it now, and he saw that Matt is that type of person.
Yeah, I mean,
more just shocked. He was just like,
I think I'm leaning more to like, oh wow, he was just like jarred that like
wasn't accounted for that one.
Yeah, because like you said, he doesn't know he's Daredevil.
Yeah,
and it's like for him to give that much credit to Matt, like he wouldn't know that Matt could figure out that he was about to shoot and that he would jump unless he knew he was Daredevil.
He's got to know now.
Yeah.
How the hell do you explain Matt jumping in front of him at the
this is classic. They won't address it.
No, they won't.
That's what I'm saying. It's bull.
Maybe they do though. Maybe they do next season. If we get I hope Bullseye keeps coming back because Bullseye is one of the better foils for Daredevil. Maybe we will see that eventually.
Where he just like.
Maybe
or he pieces it together.
Maybe we get a conversation between them where he kind of implicitly implies to Matt like, yeah, like I pieced together like I remember the night you jumped in front of Fisk. You know, that changed a lot of my worldview about you and it changed a lot of my perception of you.
Yeah,
and like that could mean kind of like I kind of figured it out then and there. Especially because he also already knows from earlier. He literally just
banged his head. Yeah.
So like,
I hope the gears are turning, but I never want to give somebody that much credit until they do it.
Yeah, that's
so. We'll see. I do think it was the shot with the. I wanted to bring that up with the blood.
The blood is crazy, bro. I was like,
so good, bro.
That's cooking.
That's so
some grease shit right there. That is cooking.
That's
so. Listen, I don't know when this episode was filmed. I don't know if this was a part of the plan.
Yeah,
I think it was after the plan because Vanessa was a lot of the rewrites into the show.
Yeah,
she wasn't originally
this
part
apparently
of this.
is like after the overhaul. So like I guess like 1 through 7 was a different like group of people making it, and then 7 or 8 and 9 are another group. So this is like the
interesting.
So the penultimate and the finale are by a totally different people.
I mean, this episode cooked, bro.
Yeah, and that's what people were saying. Even in our last, on our TikTok, and we read the comments. We saw what you said, where we were ragging last episode on it, and all you were like, "Don't worry, because these next 2 episodes are going to be by is after the overhaul." Yeah. I think so. You guys were right.
Yeah, props.
And so yeah, it was good. Nothing but good things. I think the ending really, like, without the ending that we had as chaotic and beautiful and great storytelling as it was, it'd have been a flatter episode because
100%.
But I mean,
they knocked that out of the
for
park.
what it was, dude.
This was the best episode of the series. And I would need some time to get away from this thought, but on initial watch, I was like, this is one of the better episodes of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like across the seasons.
Yeah, I would say my favorite episode is the Punisher Daredevil rooftop scene.
That will always be my favorite episode.
That's my favorite episode and across all Daredevil. This was up there. It's just like the storytelling was so good in the end with the Vanessa twist into the taking the bullet into the parallel of the painting.
So good.
Like that, just those three things right there is like,
yeah,
bro.
This is new. We have not really gotten a Disney Plus show like this in terms of we get a penultimate episode that actually like really builds us up into the finale.
Yeah.
And like leaves us on a very high going into the finale.
Now it's all like what's exciting is we know we didn't get Daredevil, but like I'm hoping that means finale is just
we're getting a lot of Daredevil. We're getting a lot of Daredevil.
All bone breaking.
I saw a brief clip online. We're getting some Daredevil. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, dude.
Frank has to come back.
Even if I want to see how they land the plane, because I mean, if they land this plane, like the context of these two episodes with the other episodes that maybe I wasn't as high on definitely changes the overall like level of this show that I hold it at.
So where are you at?
I would say right now, like I'm leaning like up into the 7s and 8s, and like depending on how this goes, it could get higher or lower. You know.
So you're saying like 7.5 ish?
Yeah, 7.5. I'm probably more 8 right now. Yeah. Like
so it'd be nearly impossible to get you to a 10.
Not with the couple episodes that I just weren't vibing with.
Yeah.
Like 10, you got to be soaring throughout the entire season.
Yeah.
You can't miss a beat. But like this is there's definitely been some. This is in a right now. This is in a like really good but not perfect category for me. But that being said, if these last two episodes were filmed by the new regime, maybe that's what's on the horizon for next season.
Yeah, maybe.
And from how I've kind of read what these seasons are, it kind of seems like this is just one really big, long season that they've kind of just like hashed into two. So I hope that momentum carries. I hope we get a banger finale next week. I don't really know how it's going to end, too. I don't like have an idea of what it's.
I really do want Fisk to end in office.
I think he will.
I hope
this.
so. I hope so. I really want to flesh that out more in season 2 because I think it's just so. Him abusing that power is just so good. Yeah. It's so cool.
This works really well. Let's stick in this. For a while.
Let's sit in a little bit longer.
We don't need to end it here.
Yeah. So I want to finish him in office. I want the vigilante task force, at least the people we've been introduced, to be wiped out.
Yeah.
So I want 100%. Him and Frank to like, we're putting people down.
Like Frank will.
I know he will.
I don't know if
I know he'll deliver.
I don't know if our boy
Daredevil won't, but like Frank will do enough for all of us.
Yeah.
Where else do I want it to end? I want a little bit more on BB. I want a little bit more on like maybe insinuating or hinting at, an article she's writing or something like that. I want a little bit more of that, just a tiny little piece, because I don't want to end where we left off with that conversation.
Which is good because we've genuinely enjoyed her character and her arc throughout this entire season.
Yeah, I want to see that, and so obviously she's got a vendetta against Fisk, knowing about him being the suspect in her uncle's murder. What other storylines do you want to see tied up, if any?
Probably the assistants. Kind of storyline to where his relationship is with BB.
Oh, okay.
I for sure thought he was taking over her job, the woman's job.
Yeah.
I guess that's not happening. But no, I like this. I like where we're at right now. Like, I don't really need a nice tight bow on anything.
I think we need to flesh out Heather. It's like whether we're getting rid of her
she's got
or
I agree.
Like, we need to figure out, like, are we telling her, are we not telling her, and we're getting rid of her, or are we not getting rid of her?
I think we don't tell her, and I think the relationship is just cooked at this point.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with it. Great with it.
Yeah, I don't.
So, yeah.
Or maybe she finds out and that's why she leaves. I don't know.
Again, she does not strike me as the type who would keep that secret.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he willingly tells her. She just pieces it together based off how he's been acting.
That's another thing is she
Because he was kind of acting.
She's got to be putting some stuff together at this point.
I mean, come on, yeah.
Come on.
Jumping in front of the bullet. She's going to She's going to.
He threw his cane down and got her. Yeah. He's dancing around. Like he says
he said you lead. But
he wasn't. She wasn't leading. Man, no, yeah, good stuff. Excited for next week. We'll be back next week to view that. I also didn't realize on the horizon, Andor season 2 comes out at the end of this month. Mm-hmm. We actually kind of jump right into it after Daredevil. It's pretty quick. We get like a week off, and then I believe it's Andor.
You gonna binge it or?
Yeah, I got to get on that. I saw the release date today. And I was like, oh, we're kind of close.
Yeah.
So I got to go through that because I do want to cover that. I think it's worth covering. So. We'll get to that soon.
Thunderbolts at the end of the month.
Thunderbolts at the end of
beginning of May.
Yeah,
like May 2, I think.
Yeah, so we got Thunderbolts on the horizon. We got Andor on the horizon. Trying to think of like other shows right now. I think that's pretty much the prime stuff right now. We've got a villain draft dropping soon.
Yeah,
stay tuned.
That'll be fun.
And if you are a sports fan, we are about to get ramped up for NBA playoffs.
Oh,
we also have a big announcement video coming soon with Mr. Free Agent Boy over here.
Hey.
So, got to decide because the draft is, I believe, 10 days away.
Yep.
Very fun. Very fun.
Got to do it.
So, lots of exciting stuff happening at the house. Also,
wait a
do you want to tell the audience about what else new we got going on with the house?
So we're growing.
We're growing.
We added a new show to House 1055 called the Pipe Bomb Podcast. Yeah. I'm hosting it myself with two dear friends of mine. A familiar face you've seen before, Alex, my little brother, and then a childhood friend of mine. We are diving and talking about all things WWE. So if you're part of the WWE universe and you've been following along with the road to WrestleMania, definitely tune in. It's on our House 1055 Sports Podcast show. You'll see it, Pipe Bomb Podcast. Just dropped our first episode, Road to WrestleMania episode 1. WrestleMania is about a week and a half away. Not this weekend, but the next weekend. And that is the Super Bowl of the WWE. So a lot of exciting things. And so we'll cover that. Episodes drop every Tuesday night. So
sweet. Yeah. Exciting stuff on the horizon for the house. Yeah, we just put a big wrestling rink in the backyard and letting the boys go ham on it.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's going to do it for us here tonight. We will catch you guys next week for the finale of Daredevil. Episode is going to be dropping on Thursday probably, so we will see you then. Until then.